Hello YouTube, Bane666 here. So I came across some insane Radfem ramblings, some Radfem conspiracy theories that I really couldn't go past. I just had to stop the present videos I'm working on and do something on this because yeah, it's just too funny because it's so fucking insane. Although I'm not going to tell you the actual title of the post until we get a little bit into it, because I kind of want to keep it as a surprise. I want to see if you can figure out where this is heading before I spoil it. So without any further delays, let's get stuck into it.
The present looks grim for females while looking bright for males, the future dim for both.
So you're probably wondering what this threat against women is. Is it air conditioning? Possibly it's the evil man spreading. Well, feminists have got so crazy that it could really be anything. Maybe this week it's toothpaste. Yes, evil misogynistic toothpaste oppressing women everywhere, preventing one misogynistic cavity at a time. Well, no, it's not toothpaste. It's actually something even more crazy than saying toothpaste is misogynistic. Which I'm sure they'll get around to toothpaste is misogynistic at some point. You know, maybe mid 2016 or something. But yeah, this one's even crazier than that. So let's read on and see what we get.
The men that hate women rejoiced. They cried tears of joy while looking at the checklist of everything that must be done to eliminate female rights is completed. Mission accomplished.
Oh no, it looks like we've had an infiltrator into the patriarchy meeting where we've been planning on taking away the rights of women, and the infiltrator has clearly escaped with a list of our plans. So anyway, let's have a read of this particular list and see what they got. It's an interesting list, trust me. So number one on the list is force girls out of public schools. Well, it's an interesting one considering the number of boys which are presently being drugged in schools with Ritalin and the like, because they're not acting like girls. And also considering that girls are outperforming boys because of, you know, the present state of education, and that includes universities as well. I hardly think girls are being forced out of public schools. They're actually way ahead of us in education at the moment. Yeah, that's something that feminists would actually address if they were actually about equality. But, you know. And number two on the list is force girls out of gym. Well, considering the number of female-only gyms which are popping up everywhere, you could argue that it's men being forced out of gyms and not women. But anyway, number three, infiltrate abuse shelters, leaving abuse shelters closing down. Well, once again, it's pretty much a female-only service which is paid for by government funding, even though there are numerous men who are victims of abuse. So I don't think that we're actually closing down abuse shelters. What we're asking for is new ones to open to actually address the men who are victims of domestic abuse. Force girls out of sports. Gee, I wonder how exactly we're doing that. Number five, drive women out of high-paying jobs. Replace them with men that think they are women. Now, here's a little clue as to what the grand conspiracy behind all this is. I'm still not going to tell you the title of this post yet, but that is a pretty big clue right there. Number six, dismantle women's rights to choose to get an abortion. Okay, yeah, there are some people actively working towards this. I'll kind of give them a little bit of a point there. Although I wouldn't say it's men's rights activists doing so. Although we tend to be split on the topic. Some of us are pro-choice, some are pro-life, and many, I assume, just don't give a shit one way or the other. And number 7, end laws that women get child support. Well, I would argue that the child should be getting child support, which should be paid to the parent who is looking after the child. Child support is not a woman's right, it is a child's right, paid to the parent of the child. But let's continue with this insanity.
As time progresses after the celebrations and rejoicing, things start to settle down, and when the newness of this environment kicked in, some surprising outcomes occurred. Joe once was a men's rights activist. He belittled and sometimes smacked his wife.
Oh, of course he did. Don't you love MRA stereotypes? Oh, jeez. So anyway, Joe belittled and sometimes smacked his wife, and I'm sure he was best friends with Elliot Rodger, and let's see, he boycotted the Mad Max movie because he was intimidated by strong women in movies, and he had a fedora collection, and he had a neck beard, and lived in his mother's basement and was a virgin. Even though he is married. And he probably got dating tips from Rish V as well. I mean, that's just about all the MRA bullshit stereotypes, isn't it? Isn't that just about all of them, I think? I mean, I'm sure there's a few more. But yeah, there we go. Fantastic.
He thought it was unfair that one day she could leave him when she got tired of his abuse. His wife Joan used to work. Both incomes provided for their house, cars and bills. Joan was fired and replaced by a trans woman instead. Joan complained and filed discrimination only to be told she was a bigot with her case dismissed. Joan tried to get hired again only to find herself not getting a job. Now she's at home raising 2 daughters.
And here we have the grand conspiracy finally revealed. Alright, let's have a look at the actual title of this post. It's called, "If Men's Rights Activists Got Their Wish Using Trans Women to Do It, the Future Outcome." So apparently, we MRAs are using trans women to take away the rights of women, because apparently there are so many trans women out there that they're just walking into businesses and replacing all the women. I mean, you can see it happening every day. And yeah, clearly we came up with this plot years ago at an evil MRA patriarchy meeting, and it's finally starting to pay off. Oh, jeez. Only from the mind of a Radfem could such lunacy come. But, anyway, let's continue and see what other wonders she's got in store for us.
Joe goes to work at his office. There are no more females working there, only biological men, including trans women. There was a trans man that tried to get hired, but they have new practices of proof a penis to get hired. The strap-on didn't cut it.
Okay, so let's try to unravel and disinfect this nonsense with a little bit of logic. So the core of feminism is that men are in control, that patriarchal power is basically in control. It's there to benefit men and to oppress women, and men have all the power, and we're the majority of the government and CEOs and all that. Of course, ignoring all the men at the bottom who are invisible to feminists. But men have all the power apparently, and apparently what we want is to go back to the 1950s, chain women to the kitchen sink and have them make us sandwiches or some fucking bullshit. So all the men in power, instead of just telling women to do that, because that's what dictators in power could actually do, right? Instead of actually doing that, what we've done apparently is we've just created trans women to replace women in the workforce, which doesn't make the least bit of sense in any way whatsoever. I mean, when you think about it, there would have to be an equal number of trans women to working women to actually even try to pull this off. And there aren't anywhere near as many trans people in general, let alone trans women, as that. And as I pointed out earlier, if men have all the power, as apparently, according to feminists, we do, why would we go to all this hassle? Why wouldn't we just demand that women leave the workforce, if that was our desire? It just doesn't make any fucking sense. And the proof of penis to get hired, I'm guessing in 10 years that's going to be the opposite, if it's not already in some places. In fact, there are some businesses that just hire women.
At Joe's place of work, he's feeling comfortable until months go by and he notices that trans women are getting promoted left and right, even though it was time for his promotion. If he doesn't get promoted anytime soon, he is going to have to sell the house to make up for the lost income. Then he thinks, oh, selling my wife's car will do. It's not like our daughters will be going to school. She won't even need a car. He laughs to himself.
So the Radfems believe we live in a patriarchy which benefits men. It's always benefiting men and oppressing women. Yet for some strange reason, this same patriarchy is going to put trans women above your normal average man. I find that a bit strange, considering what the feminists believe a patriarchy actually is. It just doesn't seem the least bit logical. And why would hiring trans women in the workplace prevent girls from getting an education? I'm not exactly sure how the two are connected. But we're just at the start of this craziness. There's still plenty to go. But I'm out of time for this particular episode, so make sure you stick around for part 2. But until then, always remember,
don't drink the poison Kool-Aid.
White Lady Funerals is Australia's premier team of all-female funeral directors, and we offer a range of funeral services to suit you and your family's needs, no matter what they might be. Our funeral homes are places where you will receive comfort. Our chapels are beautiful venues to hold a service, and our care is second to none. Our special female funeral directors take pride in our reputation for providing a superior quality of funeral service and for giving families a lasting tribute to their loved ones. One that will cater for your family's culture and traditions, one that is personalised, and one that includes all your special requests. Our special ladies understand how difficult it is to lose someone close, so we provide a softer, more specialised approach to funeral services. Our care begins with your first phone call and continues long after the funeral service is over. We provide grief support, hold special memorial services, and provide other resources such as online memorials to make sure that you're cared for and looked after for years to come. We will listen to your every wish, help you to make the right choices, and answer all of your questions to ensure that the funeral arrangements are complete. On the day of the service, these arrangements will be carried out as smoothly and as easily as possible. At White Lady Funerals, we believe that a woman's understanding will make all the difference to the precious memories that your family will have forever.